Are we liberated? First of all, let's just start from there. And then we'll talk about then what does it mean to be liberated in just a bit.
I think we could have started with what's liberation.
All right. Okay, fine. Because I wanted to hear your opinion. Like, are we really liberated?
I don't want to say yes
Yes
or
or
no. Maybe they're in the middle,
Yeah.
because with the liberation and its meaning, it depends where everyone looks at it from.
Okay.
Because you look at the more hyped word, it's the modern woman.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who was confined somewhere, maybe somebody who was a slave somewhere, somebody who has now to get her rights, and there has to be an equality. I mean it, you get it? So when I look at one side of myself, yes, I am.
Okay.
I look on the other one, I say, no, that's not what I want it to have.
Yeah. All right. So, and we have a man on set, which I think is
Let's
good.
hear him.
and we want to hear your opinion on the same. You know, so Charles, in terms of then the liberation, because you see, I think for us women growing up, since we are, you know, a little girl to a woman, it's like we have our lives sort of planned for us. You, of course, you're born, go to school. After going to school, get married, get children, you know, and all those things. It's like our lives have sort of been planned for us. But now we have a modern woman who says, you know what, fine, I respect that. But then again, this is what I want to be, or this is what I want to do in life or with my life. So is this sort of like a threat to the men and to the society in general?
Well, it's not a threat,
Okay.
of course. Like we are saying, I think women are free nowadays with modernization.
Okay.
I feel
You
they
feel,
are free,
all right.
but it depends with a degree.
All
you
right.
know,
All right.
to what degree are you free? Have you been you've been maybe caged in some like, you know, people think that you're supposed to be, you know, like you're saying that you've been planned, your life has been planned, but to what degree are you free?
All right.
And I think you're free, but not as free. So we can always debate on the freedom and especially the degree of freedom that women have.
All right.
Yeah.
But is it only about freedom? Because you see, I think when we talk about the modern woman, and I think this is the discussion that we always have in the office, where people would tell you, women have lost it. We have forsaken our culture, we have forsaken our values, we have forsaken this and that to become, like women have become more westernized as compared to being, you know, the way tradition and culture, you know, we were the ones that we were brought up in. So then do you think this is the case, like looking at it now? Because things are changing anyway.
I understand the issue to do with, you know, the westernization of things and the way we carry out these things, and especially in those conferences where people say what a man can do, a woman can do better. I know we could discuss that the whole day, you know, the whole week. But again, I just feel, you know, I need to give the woman some space to determine the kind of life she wants. Nowadays, ladies want to be career women, you know, and they're saying, you know what, you know, when we are having discussions on the table, this is what I'm bringing. I'm bringing my ideas, you know, my resources and everything. So I think myself, I would just give the woman space to determine herself. Yeah, and again, don't forfeit, of course, what, you know, we have gender roles, you know that.
Okay, and that is something that I want us to really discuss, because I want to pose this question: what if there were no roles at all to begin with? Like this, you as a man, you're supposed to do this. You as a woman, you're supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do this as a woman, and you're not supposed to do this as a man. What could happen? What kind of a world will we have? And that is a discussion that we'll have a little bit later. But for you, Fatma, I know you're among those people who are, you know what, fine. Technology, we are advancing and things are changing and all those things. But what you always say is that women should not forget about our cultural values and all those things. But then again, here's the thing. Things are changing. The world is moving fast. The economy, you know, all those things. So, of course, there's a space or a place where a role that a woman has to play, but again, try to balance in the sense that, fine, be a career woman, but don't forget this other aspect of your family, take care of your family and all those things. So can we just do some sort of comparison between now and then, and this is in regards to the expectations of a woman?
You know, Winnie, when we talk about the woman liberation, or the woman empowerment, the girl child. It has a lot of names.
Has a lot to it, yeah.
You know, woman to economy. It has a lot of names. But the truth of the matter, if I can tell you, actually, this was not our problem.
Okay.
Yes, we had our own issue in our African setup.
Yes.
But this is a foreign thing that was brought to us. And if you can go down to those meetings and whatever that transpired, the movement started in Europe in 60s. And when it started in Europe, okay, they had meetings, Mexico, Copenhagen, and then Nairobi, and then back now to the famous Beijing.
Yeah.
And when this movement came, it was like now again we are having our common enemy. And you know who's the common enemy? The man.
Okay.
So we are not talking about education here. So if I'm to talk about a woman liberation in education, I'm talking about woman liberation in maybe, okay, you used to be beaten by your husband, you used to be done this. Yes,
Which
that one,
still
I
happens.
can agree.
Yeah.
I can agree. But remember now, the girl child is protected in all angles, laws everywhere. Right now, touch a woman. And now I ask, you normally say you are beaten.
Yeah.
Right now, we have men who are beaten by their wives.
It's true.
Where do they go to? First and foremost, we say, no, this one is a very stupid man. Why is he beaten? You see? So we don't have a leveling ground for the woman and the man. Why? Because the motive, at times I even feel, even today when you told me this is what we are talking, I was like, Winnie, now what are you doing? All the arms will be up. And you know our friends are there doing the men's conference. I wish they even called me there to advocate for them, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that there are two ways, the way you're putting it. There are things that problems that we're coming from. I live in a certain area, you live in a certain area. There are problems at certain institutions, certain environments, certain cultures. We cannot adopt a foreign culture to solve our African cultures or our African problems. Because, of course, that's why we are coming and the confusion. So even if I want to talk maybe in Africa, the woman was done. But you see now the problem that we're talking about, they are beyond African problems. So now look at the outcome or look at where we are right now. Whoever we are trying to fight so much is the man. Because even this liberated woman, ask her first enemy. Even when we were being taken to school, I remember when my mother was to give me school fees in the morning, she was telling me, I'm giving, and then she could take that coin and tell me, I want you to go to school and read because this is your husband. So I normally talk about previous information. So what is the previous information we have about this woman liberation? We are always on the run, trying to fight a man, trying to be equal, trying to say we can do things better than, and of course I can tell you and take it to the bank, whether we live we're in 21st century, we go to 22nd, it shall never be equal. Okay. There has to be a space, and it is there. There's a space
Look
for
at
the woman.
Like, yes, yes,
it's
yes.
like, yes. But there's a space for the woman and the space for the man.
All right. But
the crisscrossing now.
Yes.
The crisscrossing, because somebody somewhere wants to prove a point. And at times when I analyze and when I'm on ground doing these things, and even then sometimes I'm forced to sort issues, I normally say there are only two answers to this, woman liberation. Okay. If the issue was not taken out of context or maybe overblown of something, then the motive was not woman liberation. Okay. And comes the question. Okay. And I want you to answer me, Winnie, today.
All right, okay. I'll try.
How should we make the stronger weak by making the weaker stronger?
Okay. I hear you. I hear you.
You feeling
bad? Bad. Now, here's my bad. Fine. You're saying there can never be equality. Like, we can never be equal, men and women. We can never be equal. Which I think... Okay, there are various areas. There are various avenues. There's career, there's of course the aspect of family, you know, relationships, career and all those things. Exactly. But then again, when it comes to, I mean, first of all, our roles, in terms of even physical, we're different. So we can never be the same on that. Good. The way we think and we are made is different. Yes. So we can never be the same on that note. But aspects of career, all right, the rights, I think we can be equal on that, where, because back then women were not allowed to even take up certain careers because ini ya wanaume, all right? Or even are not allowed to take up certain salaries because I am a woman, I cannot be paid more than a man, all right? So I think that is where then the problem is, because again, if we are trying to say we can never be equal in terms of our roles and the way we think and the way that genetically we are made up, we're different. But in other areas like career and all those things, I think we can be equal.
agree.
And I want Charles'
I agree.
contribution on this, because he was like, yes, we can never be equal. But there's some areas where we can.
Like Winnie,
We can exercise equality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Winnie, what my friend is saying, I think sometimes there is, sometimes we become too radical.
Okay.
When you're given an opportunity as a woman, do you rise up to the expectations and standards of
Whose
that
expectation?
particular
Okay, all right.
of that particular office or
Exactly.
task that you've been given? Because sometimes I feel when you're told when you want to be the president of this country, determine yourself to a point where people will just have to say yes, it is Winnie and it is her. You need to prove yourself. I was in agenda class I think last week. And we had different comments from women, and there's a lady who said, you know what, I wished my man would get pregnant for me and I just go.
No, you get it.
Okay. So sometimes we have overlapping of issues, and there's a way. I mean, prove yourself. Don't be. I think we have a lot of radical feminism.
Yeah.
That is negative.
Now you brought
than
up
what we
another
focus.
word, and that is on feminism, which I think everybody is a feminist. There's some people who say, me, I'm not a feminist, but
every lady is
if you
a feminist.
Not every lady, even the guys, even the men are feminists.
Ladies, all ladies
In
are
this
feminists.
in this sense, all right? There are other areas that we support our women. For instance, let's say a lady gets married, right? And she has, her career going and all those things, and then the man supports her. You think that is being a feminist in some way, all right? It's not like we're promoting, disrespect and, trying to put down the man and all those things. No, that is not being a feminist. That is something else. But in terms of supporting a woman's ambition, supporting a woman's decisions as well, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
There's nothing wrong with that, Winnie.
Uh-huh.
And what I can tell you, and I repeat it again, the way we are putting it.
Yeah.
When you talk about career, career is an angle on its own.
Yeah.
Charles mentioned about a woman becoming a president. And I agree. And I will be the first one to vote.
Yeah.
My first question will be, and I would want to ask our incoming lady president, will you be a president for the nation? Yes, I will be. And what about your home? Will you take your presidency to your home?
To your home.
You get it? Because
Okay.
now when you realize about the liberated woman, we don't have a problem with this woman in the office. This one I want you to agree with me. We don't have a problem. We don't have a problem with women doctors. We don't have a problem with ladies lecturers. We have teachers, ladies who are doing so well. And if there's anything that has happened to us ladies, I'm telling you that's the best. That's the best. Because of course we can be able now to tackle issues out of there. But now, when we talk about the woman liberation, where does it narrow it back? You get it? So there's a comparison of two, because they can, if there's a woman already, there's a who? There's the opposite sex, there's the man. So when we talk about why are we not having the level, the two leveling ground, because we'll be talking about a liberated woman and a liberated man, then now we can ask who is better here.
Okay.
You get me?
All right, okay.
So, yeah, so if we don't have that kind of a ground, then again there's a problem somewhere.
All right.
Look at even the university intakes.
Okay.
There's always a minimum. Ladies entry this point.
Yeah.
Men
and for
entry.
the men,
You get it?
point as
So where is
well.
the equality there?
Okay.
Look at political angle.
All right.
So whenever we go all the angles and take it round, you'll realize there's no equal ground. So when
Okay.
we want to liberate this woman,
Okay.
who is her comparison?
All right.
So who am I going to compare her with?
Okay, all right. So, and hold that thought. Let's listen to this song, by a famous reggae artist. It's called what? Lord Errol, Lord Larrell. All right.
Larrell, yeah.
And of course, in terms of the liberated woman, and then we'll be right back and get your views on the same.